Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Right, okay. I'm just going to dive straight in. The time right now is 23:03, so that's 3 minutes past 11 UK time. And today's date is the 6th of February, 2025. All right, so today's show. This is a bit of a special. This is going to be a little bit different from the usual shows. So basically, the first part of the show is going to be starting with a bit of a rant. Yeah. So I need to have a vent. I need to have a rant, and then we're going to look at some history. Yeah, we're going to look at a little bit of history, and we're going to look at some of the alignments that were in place for the French Revolution and the Declaration of Independence chart, because there's things in there that I want to show you that I want to help you put these times in historical context. And then the last part of the show will be answering your questions. So your questions have come in. I've got those there. Here are a lot of my notes that I've made, and also as well here I've got times, you know, in history that are significant to share with you all, to put absolutely everything as much in context as I can. I'm still going to try and keep the show, of course, to the usual hour. But it's time to let rip. You're already here in the comments. I'll try and read as many of your comments out as much as possible. But let's dive in. First of all, rant. Yeah. So to begin the rant is like, what on earth is going on with the United States? OMG. Now, to put things into context, you guys, many of you will remember. And first of all, as well, I want to thank you everyone asking about my cold, etc. and stuff like that. I'm actually going to see the doctors tomorrow about my cough. It has calmed down a lot now, but I think there might be something asthmatic going on. I'm going to get it checked out. I also have to try and keep my emotions calm. My computer has been working perfectly today, but as you know, very passionate person, and when my emotions get up, sometimes things can freeze a bit, and sometimes you've got some SOBs out there in the ether that try and sabotage energetically. I've got my obsidian here, and I'm going to be holding on to this to absorb as much as any bad juju that might be out there. So first of all, rant. Okay, this is absolutely crazy, isn't it? We are all seeing the madness that is going on. Yeah, just to kind of read off my list, I can barely keep up with all of the transformations and changes. I went to Belgium yesterday with my friend Tara, so shout out to Tara. Luckily, because we live in London, we can take the Eurostar to Europe. Yeah, lucky us. Yeah, as you know, the Eurostar goes to Paris, but it also goes to Amsterdam, and it also goes to Belgium. So we went to Belgium yesterday, had some food. Nice place to look around, but also a bit weird. Anyway, never mind. I needed the break, and that was actually good for me, and that actually helped, I think, a lot with the cough as well, because I was able just have a day where I wasn't in the crazy. But the irony is, Lena rang me up while I was on the Eurostar to tell me about what Trump has said about Gaza. It's just extraordinary. So there's important things to mention. So what has happened? Of course, we have had like all the stuff with Project 2025, of course, is they're trying to kind of roll it out. We've also had Elon is now attacking / invading and wanting full access to the NOAA, you guys call it in America, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Apparently, Project 2025 said it needs downsizing due to harming the USA's prosperity. Now, we know what that means, yeah? The NOAA is in charge of things to do with climate, the science around climate change, etc., and all of that stuff. Project 2025 and pretty much the GOP want to tell everyone it's a fantasy, even though there's you know, massive hurricanes every 10 minutes, stuff blowing down, big old fires burning all through of LA, etc. Weird times of year, etc., etc. We all understand this, yeah? So you've got Trump who's getting in there on that. Musk, it is also reported, has also accessed the Medicare agency payment system. We all know how important that is. Medicare and Medicaid, as we know, is exceptionally important. Many people use Medicare to help meet their bills, costs, disability payments, etc. The whole shebang. We know he's already been basically given access to $6 trillion worth of the US Treasury. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. Can you imagine if Barack Obama did this? Imagine if Barack Obama did this. Imagine if Hillary Clinton did this. Imagine, God forbid, if Kamala Harris did this. They'll all be burning at stakes. This is just, it's just absolutely beyond. So as we know, they've, I'm not sure if they've managed to completely halt it, but they've managed to halt quite a lot of stuff with US aid. So USAID, I can't remember what it stands for, but basically, you know, the foreign aid programs and stuff like that. Just the halting of this alone, or the partial halting of this alone, could potentially cost over 50,000 USA jobs. They've cut it because they thought, oh, Americans wouldn't care. Turns out that farmers in Ohio, I think it was Ohio or Oklahoma, sorry, forgive me, one of the O's, have basically been protesting because guess what? The spare grain or food that America produces goes to foreign aid. The aid program to, I think, Congo or something like that has just been cut, and apparently they've just started to have an Ebola outbreak just when the funding is being cut. We've seen cuts to the CDC, and we know we've got bird flu and all of that stuff. It is just absolutely crazy. So let's see here. Oh, I put here farmers in Oklahoma, so maybe it was in Oklahoma protesting. Part of the arguments put forward by Musk and the GOP, which we know is just absolute BS, is this read-only claim. Yeah, you've probably been hearing that being put out there. Well, listen to this. So a certain 25-year-old engineer called Marco Iles, we have names, yeah, and they've even got pictures. These people have been mentioned before, but Marco Iles, who previously worked for two of Elon Musk's companies, does have direct access to the US Treasury funds, responsible for nearly all payments made by the US government. So a 25-year-old private citizen who has not been given security clearances has access to all of that. Medicare, Medicaid, all of the private funds. Why has not Elon and his cronies and everyone just been arrested? Do you think you or I could just walk in there and go, oh, you know what? Here's my pen drive. Yeah, I'm just going to download millions upon millions of people's data information. This is theft. This is a crime. These are high crimes, and this is espionage. Yeah. Elon, as we know, is not even an American-born citizen. Yeah, we know that he's got American citizenship, which actually kind of turned out in a way he shouldn't have had. Because remember, he was on one of those H-1B visas, wasn't he? And he and his brother actually outstayed it. He should be put in Guantanamo Bay, and he should be locked up until pending trial. But if there's one mercy, and the only thing, remember, that these people care about is money, Tesla stocks and Tesla sales are starting to go, yeah, because everyone is like, this guy is an effing douchebag, yeah? And now people are starting to wake up. So there's that. What else do I need to put in there to carry on this rant? Musk company does, Right, so we're going to look at the Declaration of Independence chart, because I need to show you where Pluto was at that time. You know, I've said it before, but it's going to be particularly resonant for you when you actually see the placement and the house placement that is in and what that means. I'm going to talk about the energy of the French Revolution as well. I'm going to be talking about that. And I'm also going to be talking about King George, who was on the throne at the time. It turns out it was Mad King George, yeah, as I was potentially saying. I think I was saying in a Hogily just gone. What else do you need to know? Something that's, oh, we've seen the thing with Gaza where basically America, I think he's trying to wheel it back now. Trump basically said, oh, we're going in there, yeah? We're going to send American troops in there. Do you remember he said, oh, no expansion, imperialism, America first, etc.? He's now wanting to call Gaza, saying it could become the Riviera of the Middle East. You can't even make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I saw Bill Gates was on CNN pussyfooting around, you know, because obviously he's a fellow billionaire and he might even be slightly jealous, yeah? Muslim voters as well, some of them apparently are quite upset with what's going on with Trump, but some of them are kind of like, let's wait and see. Like, really? Like, these people who voted for this is just like, oh my God, but I don't want to get, you know, even there. Otherwise my rant would never stop. What else do I need to show you? Obviously a question of when will cooler heads prevail. We also as well need to talk about Uranus going over the star Algol. Now, you guys remember I've been talking about this star a lot, and I said Uranus will cross it 3 times. Do you remember? I said Uranus will cross the star Algol 3 times. The first time. Yeah, now remember, Uranus is sudden shocks and surprises, unexpected events, things like revolution, mavericks, mad professors, weird stuff. Algol, remember, is the star of what? Treachery, beheading, yeah? The downfall of leaders. What happened when Uranus crossed it the first time? Joe Biden had to leave the presidential race, and there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. Do you remember? That was the one that grazed the ear. Yeah, there was that. Uranus kept moving, slowed down and stopped and went retrograde. So just to remind everyone, the star Algol is around about 1 degree of sidereal Taurus. And remember, Uranus moved into sidereal Taurus on the 1st of June 2024. Yeah, do you remember I said, guys, we're going to see some crazy stuff. Anyway, Uranus crossed over that star, reached about 3 degrees, stood still, and then went retrograde and crossed backwards over the star again. And you guys will remember I said, look, something weird is going to happen around the election, and we may not get the results that we expect, because guess what? Uranus was exactly on the star Algol on the day of the election, November what? 5th and 6th. So then what did we see? We saw something weird, something maverick happened. Uranus is also a planet of technology, by the way. And remember, we were talking about Elon has helped Trump and, you know, all of this stuff. What's happened now is Uranus has gone back into sidereal Aries. Yeah, he's around about 29 degrees, still very close to the star. But he will cross the star for the 3rd time. 1 more cross. On the 29th of March, 2025, as you know, I've been talking about as the Great Awakening. Remember, I said the energy will start building. We're seeing this right now, but it will be very close to that star again. 29th of March. So when we're in sort of like April 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, Uranus will be exactly on that star. And that will again mean it's happening in Trump's 10th house. Who knows what could happen there? On the 29th of March, it's also going to be a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse. But remember, eclipses deal with leaders, CEOs, bosses. Something could happen to Elon, something could happen to Trump or other senior people around the world. Yeah. So I know I'm speaking quickly. but there's a lot of information to give you. Yep. So I had to share that. Let's look at some charts just to describe the energy, so you can see the correlations. I hope you're all following me here. Thank you so much for joining me. I see there's over 552 of you right now. And let me continue to show you this to describe the history to you. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Declaration of Independence chart of 1776, 6:30 p.m., 4th of July, yeah, 6:30 p.m. Philadelphia. This is the one that us Vedic astrologers use. Why? It works extremely well. So hopefully with my computer being willing, let's do some presentation. Now, you know, sometimes in the live chat, my computer goes a bit funny, but so far so good. All right, let's do share screen. And then let's see if it's going to comply, because there's a lot of you coming in the chat. So far so good. Let's do entire screen. Let's do that, and let's do share. I can see the chat is blowing up. Okay, so far so good. We're seeing this part here. Now I'm going to share this chart with you. All right, and I'm just going to wiggle this to the side, folks. There we are, so I can see myself and you can see the charts. All right, so here we go. We've got some action here. You don't need to see much of it. Here's the cursor moving around, so it all seems to be working. Now you'll see here, USA constitutional chart, 1776. In fact, let me just move this over a little bit like this. And let's move this a little bit down like this, just to give you a bit more. Yeah, come on, there we go. All right, now here where you see it is 4th of July, 1776, 6:30 p.m. Philadelphia. Why is this chart so important? Yes, there are times when, you know, the Constitution, so in terms of the Constitution was actually written, I wrote it down. The Constitution the writing of it began in 1787, yeah, May to September 1787. It was ratified in 1788 and has been used since 1789. Also in that time, Pluto was still in sidereal Capricorn, yeah, you know, not in Aquarius. Obviously Western is, you know, anyway, I'm not going to go there. You know what I mean. Sidereal Capricorn. What is the sign of Capricorn? Remember, it deals with what? Government, group, like infrastructure, civil service, rules, regulation, taxes, all of that stuff. If we think of why there was the independence in the first place, where the USA wanted to be independent from England, who the King of England at the time was George III. What was it? A lot of it about? It was about what? Taxes. Do you remember taxes on the tea? This is why we got the Boston Tea Party, Massachusetts, all of that stuff. Do you see how we've got this echoing? Now we've got Project 2025, which is kind of doing its own weird thing, and now they're actually attacking their own government. Do you see these parallels? Anyway, I digress. The important thing to understand is this. Now, do you see here where it says TR? Yeah, you guys can see that, yeah, pointing to it on the with the red cursor. TR means transits. This is where the planets are right now, yeah, according to Vedic astrology, which is sidereal, and which also basically follows like NASA and all of this kind of stuff. So you'll see here, currently at the moment, Pluto is at 8 degrees, 2 minutes of sidereal Capricorn. Now remember, Pluto deals with what? Oligarchy, plutocracy. That's where we get the words from. Pluto will always show where the corruption is, where the power struggles are. Back in the day when Pluto was in sidereal Sagittarius, which is the sign of fanaticism and religion, yeah, we were having all of the scandals of the Catholic Church and all the beheadings and the war on terror. Do you remember? Pluto moved into sidereal Capricorn on the 1st of January 2021. What happened 5 days later, we had what? January the 6th. All of that energy began to kick off. Duc Larange has what? Recently pardoned them all. Anyway, the important thing to understand is that America is having its first Pluto return. It takes Pluto 248 years to go around the sun, but basically it's 250 years. On the 4th of July, 4th of July 2026, America will be exactly 250 years old when you use the Declaration of Independence chart. So do you see how historic this is? Historic. You will see here in the original Declaration of Independence chart, Pluto was at 6 degrees 48 minutes of sidereal Capricorn here with K2 in the second house. This is so important. What is the second house? What does that deal with? Yeah, here I've got my and I'm just going to take my camera and I'm just going to show you. Here we are. So I don't know if you can see this here. Anyway, sorry, it may not be super clear, but I just read out. Second house is the face, the neck, the teeth, the voice, early childhood, food and diet, education, speech, vision, values. Yeah, I don't know if you can see here, values. And it also deals with money, savings. Isn't that interesting? Second house deals with education, money, values, and savings. What is it that Project 2025 want to do? They want to get rid of the Department of Education. Look what's happening with the money. Elon and his cronies are in the Treasury. Guess what? Pluto as a planet deals with extreme debts and extreme wealth. It deals with huge sums of money. As you guys, those of you who have read my book, I said that Pluto deals with money so big it can't be counted. Yeah. Pluto deals with what? Plutocrats, oligarchs. This energy here of now K2, guess what? K2 represents a vortex. It's like a black hole. K2, when it's next to a planet, will show something maybe is not right with that planet, or there's dissatisfaction, or there's an element of scrutiny or something missing. So imagine if you've got Pluto here next to K2, which it was in the original chart, that means something's wrong. This energy is being activated again. You can see Pluto has crossed over itself. This is Elon Musk. This is Doge. But this is also all of the billionaire oligarchs that were at the inauguration. Yeah, plutocracies. There with K2, some kind of hole, something kind of being sucked away. He's literally got his hands in the bloody finances. Second house, do you see here? Second house, money, values, savings. Pluto is back. It's what? It's been 248 years. The Pluto return basically began on the 1st of January 2021, because the return begins when the planet enters that sign. But of course, the energy's been building since then. Do you see how extraordinary this is? It actually became exact on the 2nd of in February 2024. That's when the Pluto return became exact. But of course, it's been developing and building since then, because the USA is a Sagittarius rising. Now, if I put here, now we're going to talk a bit about the Great Awakening. I hope this ain't spooking people too much, but I have to talk about the energies because accuracy matters. It really does. So let's put in this date here. I hope you're all following me. And then I'm going to get into your questions. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of information here, but you can see this is just like, oh my God. All right. 29th of March. Oops, no, that's May. 29th of March, 2025. I'm going to click calculate. And you see now here where it says TR, which means transits. These are the transits for the 29th of March. Now, this is what I've been referring to as the Great Awakening, but also remember what I said. I said the energy will build. What's important to understand is you see here, the rising sign of the United States is Sagittarius. Obviously, there are a bit of disagreement between astrologers as to what the right time is, etc., like that. But really, it's Sagittarius. Think about it. Sagittarius is about what? Truth-seeking, expansion, but it's also about religion and politics and battles, yeah, and fanaticism. Half of America is currently living under the beliefs of a cult, yeah, Duck l'Orange. Anyway, deep breath, Sogi. Sagittarius rising. So that means the Great Awakening, this big alignment of planets, as you can see here, is happening in sidereal Aquarius. No, sidereal Pisces. Yeah. When I was predicting things like the pandemic and a global event happening, I was looking at the charts. This was back in 2019, before my YouTube channel, but all my work colleagues can verify this for me. I was looking back then at an alignment of 7 planets, yeah, 7, that aligned up in Sagittarius on Christmas Day 2019. And I said, something crazy is going to happen across the whole world. I said the average 9 to 5 will be thrown out of the window. It's like the whole world will come to a halt. It could be some kind of computer virus. The internet goes down. In the end, it ended up being COVID. But I said it's some kind of virus, something like that. And the world will never be the same again. That was 7 planets. If you include Chiron in this alignment, this is 8. 8. Saturn will be there. Rahu will be there. Venus retrograde. Venus is also a planet of money. Neptune will be there, which can deal with scandals and deceptions and strange things. Mercury will be there, retrograde. He also deals with money as well. The sun will be there, which deals with CEOs. The moon will be there, which deals with the public. This will also be an eclipse. And Chiron, 8 factors. Do you see why I'm... Yeah, because we are in historic times. This is extraordinary. This is all happening in the 4th house of the USA chart, because if we count here, 1, 2, 3, 4 to Pisces. Yeah, all of this is happening in the 4th house, which means what? Homeland. The 4th house, if I read it out, deals with the mother. It deals with real estate. Do you remember I said there's going to be major things happening as this energy builds in real estate? What did we see in California, in LA? Over 10,000 properties burnt down. Yeah, some of the most valuable real estate in all of America, as we know. Lots of people lost their homes, a lot of famous people, but a lot of non-famous people lost their homes as well. But it also deals with vehicles. Isn't it interesting? 4th house also deals with vehicles, and Tesla stock is starting to go, yeah, American-based company. So it deals with comforts and luxuries, but it also deals with the homeland. It's also known as the seat of power. This is also deals with security, homeland security, or everything that makes America secure. Elon Musk is rummaging around, yeah, here with that K2, because guess what? K2 also represents geeks. I keep forgetting. K2 can represent geeks and weird people. This is Elon. Well, it's not even just Elon, it's all of them that support this madness. Yeah, they're headless. Remember, K2 is the body of the dragon without the head. K2 often deals with fanatics and people that refuse to listen to sense. Why? Because they've got no head. It's like they're deaf, dumb, and blind, yeah? Like zombies. Doesn't this all make sense? This energy here in the 2nd house of money. But this is the great alignment, or great awakening, is happening in the 4th house, in the seat of power. Let me just, so this means all of this tremendous change for the US homeland. Yeah, makes sense. Let's do, in fact, let's go here. I'm going to show you the energy of the French Revolution, and then I'm going to get into your questions. Yeah, because I'm almost halfway through the show. Right, I need to show you this. This is the chart of the French Revolution. The French Revolution, well, technically it started from May 5th, 1789, but the famous date that everyone remembers is July 14th, 1789, when the peasantry of France stormed the Bastille. Yeah, everyone knows about the storming of the Bastille. Yeah. So I looked at the chart for that date. Yeah. So if we look here, 14th of July, how interesting, also the month of July, 1789. Now, there are some interesting things of where the planets were at that time. You will see, because obviously this is after the Declaration of Independence chart of 1776. We're talking this like 13 years later, something like that. But Pluto is still in sidereal Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of what? Government, rules, regulations. Pluto is the planet of transformation. So we see here it is. In Pluto, 27 degrees, 40 minutes. What I find uncanny about this chart is that Saturn was also in Pisces, sidereal Pisces. Pisces is the sign of things dissolving, things breaking down. Yeah. Saturn is the planet of what? Rules and regulations. So what do you think happens when the planet of government, rules and regulations starts to dissolve? It's a similar energy. Look what Elon and batshit crazy Duck Larange are doing. Yeah. There, Saturn is there. Also, as well, what I noticed is that here you see a big stellium here, Sun. You've got Mercury, Uranus, Venus, and Jupiter here. Now, the Sun deals with leaders. The protests were mainly against the king, yeah, Louis the 16th, and of course Marie Antoinette and all of that stuff. Yeah, Sun represents the king, but look, Uranus, the planet of revolution, is there. Venus is the planet of food. Yeah, she was here as well. Jupiter was in the sign of sidereal Cancer. So I checked to see when Jupiter will move into the sign of sidereal Cancer, and you will not believe this. It will happen on the 1st of June, 2026, when America is 250 years old. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah. So we're coming into this age of what is very close to the French Revolution. But of course, in a way, this is sort of happening in the United States. And the madness of King George this time is Trump. They say the reason why that King George was mad, they said it could either been because of a birth defect that he inherited because he was Habsburg and there was a lot of inbreeding, or it could have been lead poisoning. But when I did my research, it said some say the psychosis was lead poisoning, but the serious illness for him began in 1788 to 1789 and in 1801. But he was officially declared deranged in 1810. So now we've got this energy of a mad king on the throne, but this time it's like it's Duck Larange, Captain Batshit. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, can you? I could show you more charts, but let's just give it a break there because I want to obviously read out some of your questions, but let me know what your thoughts are on that. I mean, that's quite, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, can you? You can't make this stuff up. Someone is saying here, Dumpf has dementia. Yeah, he is demented. He is behaving like a demented person. Even if you are dictator, even this behavior doesn't make sense. You don't declare tariffs on your allies, you know, and just basically tank the economy. Now he's saying that, you know, Gaza is going to become the Riviera of the Middle East. Do you know, I've just remembered, the King of Jordan, I think, is going to be visiting America soon. And I think one of the Jordanian senior people said that basically this plan for Gaza is being seen as a declaration of war against all people of Islam who are Muslim. The mind just explodes. Anyway, like I said, it's part ranted. Anyway, let me carry on with the show. You know my strength of feeling on this. Right, let's dive in. I'm gonna try and get through as many questions as I can. Wow, there's over 800 of you right now. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to support my channel and the work that I'm doing, please, of course, like and subscribe and share. It really does. It really does help. What's this here? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joe, for your kind donation. I was talking about you today. Ah, thank you. Thanks so much, Joe, for your kind donation. Much appreciated. Right, let's get into question number 1, which is, oh, I'm still on that 1 minute. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? I couldn't click off it. Oh, it's because someone else donated. Sorry. No name. Thank you. Love it when you teach from the charts. Thank you. Yeah, as you know, it's my great passion, but I really wanted to show you guys that, to give you some historical context of the energies, to help us all understand why it is so, yeah, at the moment. Anyway, so this is coming from Cheryl. And there's another one here from Nick Minks, and you're both asking about volcanoes. Oh my God, let's go here. All right. So Cheryl says, hi Hogarth, I live near Seattle, and I was wondering if the cards are showing the rise of a volcano off the coast of Oregon, right? So Oregon, yeah. Now I'm going to flip over. Nick Mint says, oh, well, what the hell? One last one, as in turn of asking another question. Do the cards show what's going to happen to Santorini? Are the earthquakes in an indication of a new volcano similar to the one that destroyed the Minoan Empire? Now, I certainly hope not, but just to give people context, Santorini, if I remember correctly, oh, crikey, I've forgotten where Santorini is. Oh, Greece. I think it's connected. It's connected. It's an island. It's part of the Greek archipelago, if I remember correctly. And once upon a time, it's split in half. Half of it fell into the Mediterranean Sea, and it basically destroyed the Minoan culture. Yeah, which was basically pretty much based on Cyprus, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just off the top of my head. Yeah. But now we're also being asked about Oregon. So let me drink a bit of water. I hope you're still with me. I know I went through that at great pace, but there was a tremendous amount of ground to cover. Of course, you guys can be watching it the next day. Stop it, pause it, replay it, do your own research, all of that jazz. Right. So this volcanic action. Let's ask about the one off the coast of Oregon, because I remember seeing some video of like this thing rising out. And I'll do 3 cards for Oregon and 3 cards for Santorini. Oregon. What's the energy of Oregon? Is something new happening there off the coast, which will be the Pacific coastline, Oregon. Oregon. What's going on there? 3 cards. Right, this is interesting. So what we get here is actually the cards are actually quite benign. Here we've got this is the card of what? ROI, return on investment. Yeah, this is also the card of harvest, something building over a long period of time. Yeah, something building over a long period of time. Just want to say thank you, Yahira. Thank you so much for your kind donation. So, but we're talking about geology here. So what this says to me is this might be something that has been brewing and developing for a long time, just quietly happening underneath the waters. If we look here, though, we do get the star card that comes out, which is talking about the universe having your back. But it also talks about renewal and rebirth. Yeah. But of what? Yeah, there's a new volcano, something emerging out of the sea. And then what we have here, we then have the victory card, which is about, you know, riding into town with success and stuff like that. So these overall are quite positive cards. So it would surprise me if it's something negative, but maybe there might be something that might be emerging, maybe a new island, yeah, maybe emerging, coming out, something, some form of renewal, something that's being reborn after years of bubbling away. So the cards are very positive. So that's really the only way that I can kind of put that spin. I hope it's nothing negative, but it's almost like a renewal. So I'm going to say maybe there might be some new kind of volcanic island that emerges. And when we think of that great awakening, of course, this is also happening in the homeland of America as well. So it can literally deal with physical land, agriculture, farming, real estate, all of that stuff. Let's ask about Santorini. Santorini, what's going on with Santorini? So the Oregon one you saw was very positive cards. If we see things like the Tower or some crazy stuff for Santorini, then maybe that might be a bit more worrying. Santorini, what's the energy there? And then I'll move on to your next questions and try and answer as many of them as I can. I hope you liked the astrology, but I hope that gave some context, yeah? So you can see what we're dealing with. Oh, yeah. The Santorini one is a bit more of a worry. Yeah, very different cards. First of all, we get the look, we get the Devil card here. Now, the Devil card can talk about what? Sickness, yeah, mental health issues, attachments, yeah, attachments, addictions, psychosis, stuff like this. But we're talking about a volcano here, so we can't really quite ascribe those things there. What this would say to me is in Santorini, it would say to me that the volcanic tremors and stuff like that might be a bit more of a concern. Yeah, might be a bit more of a worry. Yeah, might be a bit more of a worry. If we see here, we've got the High Priestess, which can talk about machinations, secret plans and stuff like that. But we're talking about a volcano here, so it's not like it has secret plans. What this says to me is that there might be a spiritual dimension to this. Yeah, an aspect maybe in celestial timing, because this is also a very celestial card, which talks about spirituality, mysticism, stuff like that. And then we get the Knight of Cups, which can talk about messages, yeah? Messages, new things being brought forward. It's also a card of romance and seduction. But it can also talk about a message as well. So I don't know, maybe there might be an announcement or something like that where possibly maybe Santorini might have to be evacuated, or maybe half the island has to be evacuated, or maybe there's some kind of smoke and stuff that happens, but there might be some kind of message. Yeah, I think that's all I can interpret from that, because it's a volcano after all. Yeah, and volcanoes don't have they're not people. Let's move straight on to the next questions, and this is a very good question. This is talking about, this is coming from Nick Minks, and said, I just had a thought, could the new regime, yeah, the new regime, are they using astrology to predict what they can get away with? What do the cards say? Yeah. So is the regime, which is obviously Duck L'Orange and all that lot, are they using astrology? It's a very good question. Let me tell you something about Duck L'Orange. I've said this before, maybe not so much, but he has a configuration where he's interested in the occult, you know. Trump is interested in the occult, but the combination that he has, remember, his moon is technically debilitated in the sign of Scorpio with K2. K2 can also deal with headlessness, recklessness. Yeah, and he's certainly that. And remember, weirdos and even serial killers, all of this kind of stuff. It was K2 that almost took out Trump. But because the guy that was shooting on the roof was a bad shot, he missed, yeah? But Trump has got this kind of energy as well. The 8th house was Scorpio, is also a sign of secrets, power moves in politics, but it also deals with espionage. Remember Mar-a-Lago? The moon is also real estate. K2 is research, yeah? He took all those documents to Mar-a-Lago. So, and it also means he's interested in the occult. He is. Trump is. So let's see. Is Trump using astrology to help him out? I just want to say a thank you to Sylvia. Thank you so much for your kind donation. And of course, if you'd like to support my work, which many of you do, please don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe and share. It really helps the channel. Right. Is Trump using astrology? Good question, eh? I bet he is, you know. Let's see what comes up. Let the cards speak. Is Trump and his cronies and the like using astrology to help them? Is Trump and his cronies, are they using astrology? Let me hold on to my obsidian. Yeah, get rid of the bad vibes. Funny that I'm starting to feel the cough come again. Yeah, I guess Duck Larange doesn't want me to speak, huh? Wow, how interesting. Maybe if we look here, 949 of you with me now. Look at this. Have you not looked? Do you see the cough is coming? Ace of Cups. Oh my God. Aces are a yes card, aren't they? Aces are yeses. Bloody hell. I think it's just answered straight away. Look. But the Ace of Cups also talks about wish fulfillment. Yeah, wish fulfillment, getting what you want. Oh my, I think it's basically just come straight out with a yes. Yeah, I think that's a yes almost immediately. Thank you, Cheryl, so much for your kind donation. Wow. Anyway, here in the obstacle position, however, it doesn't count as an obstacle if the first card is positive, but it has shown up reversed. So that means Spirit really does want me to see this as an obstacle position. Now you see this here is the, what's that? It's the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands talks about things moving quickly. The Eight of Wands also talks about business, commerce, communications of all kinds. But this is showing like it being flipped. And isn't it funny when we think of Duck Larange, the way he's been flipping communications and trying to halt things? Now you'll notice that when we turn it this way, do you see these wands are flying over land? So it can deal with things that fly, go through the air, but this could also deal with exports. Duck Larange and the regime has what? Just stopped the exports, the foreign aid. Quite literally, oh my God. Yeah, which also is being shown as part of his desire. So it's like a yes, he is using the astrology, but it's also showing his intentions, yeah, to halt things, gum up the works. If we look here, we now have here the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands talks about battles, doesn't it? Talks about battles. It talks about trying to defend a position on the hill. But as you've also seen me when I interpret this card, this is in a way democracy trying to defend itself. But this is also Trump trying to battle through and do the things that he wants. But here's all of the challenges as well, because we're noticing, of course, at long last, there's all of these lawsuits that are coming out. Now, for me, litigation has to happen later. Arrests first. Yeah, especially Elon. Arrest, deport to Guantanamo Bay while he awaits trial, and then he's going to get a guilty verdict for espionage and state crimes and locked up for decades. Yeah, that's what should happen. So there's a combination here. This is also Trump and Elon trying to defend their position, but this is also democracy in a way fighting for itself. Yeah, both can be true. But the giveaway is this. Look who shows up. The Emperor. This is Duc Larange seeing himself as the emperor, as the king. But in a way, it's like I was saying before, it's like the madness of King George, but in reverse. Instead of it being the King of England that's gone mad, it's actually Trump, who sees himself as this, the emperor. But it also shows this is the GOP elevating him, putting him on that stage. Dear leader, yeah, letting him get away with this BS. If we look here, we then, as the outcome card, we get the 8 of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of hard work, hard effort, being studious, working hard towards a goal. We know, of course, that Elon and all the others, they are working hard. Isn't it funny that this card also deals with education and students? The ones helping Elon are recent graduates. Some of them are as young as 19 years old. They are doing the dirty work, yeah, on behalf of who? The emperor or Elon, yeah. The shadow of this card is toxic patriarchal power. This is also talking about the GOP and the madness that they're doing. Oh my God, you can't make this stuff up, can you? So the answer is, are they using astrology? Yes. But we can also see how Trump is also executing his plans and ideas. But of course, he's now coming up. Yeah, the emperor is getting a bit of pushback. Yeah, things need to be done because democracy is at stake here. And one of my friends, Julie, who's she's Democrat, but she's I won't tell her where she is. She's based in a red state, but she's Democrat. Yeah, just in case people start doing mad bullshit. And she says the consensus in this red state, which is one of the biggest red states, you can work it out, begins with T. The consensus is, oh, well, Elon is doing his efficiencies and just sorting out the government. Madness, yeah? Madness, mind virus. Anyway, so that was number 2. Let's have a quick chat. Let's have a quick look in the chat, and then I'm going to blitz on with the next one. What's this? Yeah. Someone's saying here, yes, that place. Simple-mindedness. Yeah. Let's see here. That's what our local. What's it called? What's this? Suzanne is saying the Treasury computer code is written in COBOL. I don't know what that means, but you know what you're talking about clearly. A very old code from the early 80s. It was used in business and banking. It is a very difficult code. How interesting. How interesting. And then Spiritual Hack says humans do not use their energy faculties consciously except some readers. Yes, because the subconscious is very, very powerful. So as a reader, I can't speak for other readers, but what I always try and do, of course, you can see I'm passionate, but you have to try and be, when you're reading the energy, you have to try and be as neutral as possible so spirit can come through. Even though, of course, I've been flapping my gums. Oh, look at this. So MLR is saying, yeah, I doubt Doge kids know COBOL. Yes. But, you know, there's Google. Yeah, there's certainly going to be... oh, right. Yeah, COBOL. Yes. Pronounce COBOL. Thank you so much for that. Kevin saying hello. Oh, it's Kevin. Oh, hello, Kevin. Let's see here. Oh, look. Norman saying, I learned COBOL in high school computer programming. Fascinating. Oh, look at this. Core is saying, I worked as a Fed working in COBOL in 1980s. The younger ones don't know how it works. Thank God. Maybe it might have slowed them down. Maybe might slow them down a bit. Oh my God, code written in COBOL, the sheet reader coding. Could it be that could it be that the code is so old that these younguns are struggling to figure it out. I bloody hope so. I really hope so. And then Suzanne saying, learned COBOL back in the days, but forgotten it. Wow, I really hope that is. Brandon's, who's that? What's it? No one ever taps into dark Brandon's energy. Who do you mean there? Nunya, that is your name. Right, okay, let's do, yeah. Rose Blue is saying an ancient code saves us. Well, you know, he's obviously going to be using the point is that we know none of them should be there and they should be arrested. Yeah, arrested in Guantanamo Bay. That's where they should be. Wow, there's over 1,000 of you here, 1,013. Thank you so much, Marvel. Oh, you're brilliant, Hoagie. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. Glad to be of service, guys. Just trying to give this as much things as I can. Right, let's move on to the next question. This is coming from Renique. Hi, Hogarth. My question may be tricky, but in our sharply divided world between the right and the left, each side believes it's the other side that needs to awaken. As a liberal myself, it seems to me that those on the right will have the greater awakening, but it will actually be both sides that have roughly, oh, crumbs. Oh, then it says ... That last bit didn't print, but I basically, she's saying, if I remember correctly, it was talking about how will that awakening be distributed, and basically who's going to wake up the most. So let's just do a read on that. And what I'll say is, it's not just, basically it's everyone. The way this, because this is happening globally. So those that voted for Trump are having, or slowly but surely have a bit of an awakening in terms of like, oops. Some of them will be able to admit it. A lot of them won't. Some will never wake up. Yeah, the ones that are most entrenched in the batshit, yeah, they will never wake up. Yeah, that's probably going to be about 10-15% of people that will just, you know, unless their lives absolutely explode. But a lot will. What's going to be waking up people, particularly those that voted for Duck L'Orange, is that, guess what? Yes, as we know, the price of eggs hasn't gone down. Now, I do think that was actually quite an important issue and blah, blah, blah. But the whole point is prices are not going down. They're going up. Because guess what? When you threaten 25% tariffs on your closest imports and exports neighbor, that's not good for prices, is it? Started to tank the economy. This is why he turned around on Mexico, still holding the sword of Damocles over Canada, yeah? Because he wants Canada to become the 51st state because he's crazy, yeah? It's the madness of King George gone the other way. So there's that. But there is also an awakening as well on the Democrat side, yeah? Because part of the awakening as well on our side, or people that are pro-democracy, is like, wow, this really, really is crazy. We knew it was bad, but my goodness, we didn't think it was going to be this bad. Part of the awakening for the whole world is like, everyone is like, who is America? What has happened to America? For the enemies of America, they're like, oh my God, look at this. They're like, can you imagine? Like, Putin doesn't have to do anything. He's probably sitting there eating his chocolates and just shaking his head, sipping his high-end vodka or whatever his favorite tipple is, and he's just looking at this and going like, wow, yeah? Because he's not having to lift a finger here. Duck L'Orange and his cronies are doing all the damage. China is pissed off because, of course, China and America basically need each other at the end of the day. And of course, he wants to impose 10% tariffs. So China's not liking that. He's taking America, well, China is taking America to the World Trade Organization, but they've just released DeepSeek, which is not billions, yeah, off a lot of American companies. And apparently, oh my God, I've just remembered, they're passing some laws. So imagine this, they're going to pass a law where anyone using DeepSeek can be what, fined up to $1 million. If it's a company, it can be $20 million, and it's got some prison sentence if you as an American individual or company use DeepSeek, which is obviously is a protectioneering racket, yeah? So you can have Elon and his cronies go into the US Treasury, have access to $6 trillion, but the legal action from the GOP happens if you're going to use DeepSeek for AI. Do you see how mad it is? So they can act when they want. My God. Anyway, where was I? Awakening. Oh, I'm trying to stay calm. Let me hold on to my obsidian again. Hold on to my obsidian, because I'm just like, it's just like madness. All right, Great Awakening. Let's just get the read on that. And then someone asked me how long it will last. Let's get the read. So it's the Great Awakening is manifesting for Republican voters, for Democrat voters and independents, but it's also a great awakening for the rest of the world. Imagine, look, this is a great awakening as well. For what? Canada. Canada is like, is America our friend? Because you can imagine for Canada, it was like, well, America's always been our ally. We've always been able to rely. Do you know what I mean? There's never has this been this kind of aggression. So, of course, this great awakening is probably happening harshest as well for Canada and Mexico as well. But Mexico I've always sort of known. But, you know, it's a great awakening for everyone, the whole world. And, of course, everyone is having this happen in their charts. Whatever house is ruled by Pisces, that is where the Great Awakening is happening. But on people on a personal level, it can also be in a renaissance. So with my clients, they're having a renaissance in that house. Do you see? So it's not all bad, but for the chart of America, it's a bit right. Let's see what's going on with the Great Awakening here. Okay, here we go. Right. Here, the cards have spoken. Wow, 1,062 of you in the house. Thank you so much. Here, Great Awakening, what this is talking about. Here we have the smug merchant, yeah? The smug merchant who's sitting there getting his wishes fulfilled. Guess who that smug merchant probably is, huh? It's not only Elon, it's also the oligarchy, and this will also talk about Duck Larange as well. Who, remember, launched his meme coin just a couple of days before the presidency and made himself a billionaire by tanking a lot of people's money. But there you go, yeah? So here's the smug merchant. This is the energy, oligarchy, smug, arrogant people. But this is also talking about the Great Awakening as well. So the smug and the arrogant still have to wake up. But if we look here, look what's in the obstacle position. We have the Two of Swords. Now, if you notice here, this is about making choices, about making decisions. But you'll notice the person is blindfolded, which means that there's a decision that needs to be made. An important decision needs to be made. But some are blind to it. They don't want to make that decision. They don't want to see. There's something that they don't want to see. Of course, this is going to be talking about a lot of the people that voted for Duck Larange. Yeah, they're not going to want to admit that they're wrong. Some are, but a lot are not. Or they are literally covering their eyes to what the smug merchant or Elon is doing with everyone's money. Just in case we weren't sure, the energy of the Great Awakening literally is also talking about money. Now, isn't this fascinating? Because they have got access to Medicare, Medicaid, all of that kind of stuff. This is to do with the purse of America. This is the state, in a way here, represented by the agent. And this is the American people who rely on those funds. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, isn't it? There it is. But this is the card of the merchant, the salesperson. This is also Elon and Duck Larange, wanting to basically control the purse strings. Who gets money, who doesn't get money. Yeah, it's also about their own enrichment as well. But look at this. We have the death card come in. Now, the death card, as we know, talks about not just literal death. I hope people don't die as a result of the mad back. In fact, what they said was, with the cutting of the aid, I think Bill Gates was saying, not that I give two flying you know what's about Bill Gates, but anyway, he said up to 10 million people could actually die if the US funding to international aid is not restored. So this can literally be talking about this as well. But remember, the death card is also about transformation that cannot be avoided. So what this means is those that are still covering their eyes in regards to what is being exploited at the USA Treasury will face a transformation that cannot be avoided. Yeah. And then the outcome card is temperance, balance, a rebalancing, a recalibration. So what this means is, the way I'm interpreting this, the smug merchants are at the loose, but there are people still ignoring it. And this can also talk about Congress as well, obviously, who are still trying to ignore what's going on with these funds being tinkered with. Yeah, at the Treasury, quite literally. However, a transformation is coming that cannot be avoided. Yeah, cannot be avoided. Those that are blind will be forced to see. And then there will be a recalibration and a rebalancing. Yeah, a rebalancing. So I think this is, in a way, this is a transformation that America has to go through in order to rebalance, but the blind have to see. Yeah, those that are willfully covering their eyes have to see the truth. Yeah, thanks so much for that question there. Oh, look here, someone's saying here, Ivy said they're cutting essential jobs to justify and balance tax. Yes. Yeah, cute for the wealthy. Yeah, that can also be that as well. Santity says racketeering, 100%. And then Glenna is saying when the pain hits them, their eyes may open. Yeah. Oh, what's this here? Young Debin BC. Young man needed puffer, usually $6 to $8, but after Trump, over $300 the young man died. So you're talking about an inhaler. Wow. Wow. And if we look here, Innocent Potato saying, what were all those Republicans doing in Moscow on July 4th, 2018? Interesting date. Yes, they were learning how to do this. Let's not forget too that Viktor Orban, do you remember, was at Mar-a-Lago. No one protested that Viktor Orban is just visiting, you know, the then former president. Netanyahu was there. They were discussing all of this, of course. Yeah, he was being taught how to stage a coup. Remember as well, there were those planes in the airports, and the Russian plane was sort of a bit kind of connected with Trump's then plane. Oh my God. Right, let's move on to the next question. So I don't need to pull on this. Is how long will this last in terms of the Great Awakening? Now, look, things build and crescendo. So we're still in the building phase of this energy. Yeah, believe it or not. Though when it will sort of end, it will be when the next big alignment is. I'm not sure when that is. I didn't have enough time to look. But whenever there is another significant alignment, I'm going to say 5 or more planets. Yeah, I'm going to say 5 planets. When 5 planets show up again in one sign, that will be the next kind of energy. But this is going to last for a while because it is so significant, because it is happening in the homeland of America. Yeah. But as we can see, there is transformation, but people have to wake up. Yeah, they have to wake up. So so I'm going to say it's going to last until the next significant alignment, but I need to get back to you on that with some research, maybe next week, or maybe on Hogili coming up. I can look to see when the next big alignment is and when the energy of this time will likely to pass. But it's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, just like how with COVID, yeah, that was a significant impact. That was 7 planets. This time it's 8 when you include Chiron. Yeah, but still 7 bona fide planets. Right. Let's get myself together. So that's number 5. So Denise Ferguson said 47 issued an executive order creating a sovereign wealth fund, which is illegal. Yes, you can only set up a sovereign wealth fund apparently when you have a surplus, not a deficit. Yeah, and of course, America is 36 trillion in debt. However, so she asks, will Muskie transfer funds from the US Treasury to 47's wealth fund? And will it become the new billionaire treasury? Oh my God, what a great question, Denise. Thank you. Drink a bit of water. Oh my, oh look at the time. It's 10 past already. Crikey, it's got to be my last one. I'll go to 15:15. And in fact, someone asked, will there be someone else after Trump? So let's just do Treasury. And then let's do a quick read on if there'll be someone else after Trump. Treasury, what's his intentions there? Will this fund be used to basically transfer to Trump's Duck L'Orange, Captain Batshit Duck L'Orange's personal funds, or a billionaire wealth fund? Oh gosh, oh bloody hell. Oh, all right, I have to read the cards. Look at this. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, there's 1,100 of you in the chat. Thank you so much. That's a record for me. Look, Wheel of Fortune. Now, the other day, I turned this card the right way up. Do you remember it came out reversed last time? And I turned it the right way up. Look, it's come out reversed again, which means the devil here is on top. Yeah. So malevolent forces are at work. Yeah. Malevolent forces are at work. In terms of this wealth creation fund and all this stuff. However, the obstacle card here, do you see, it is justice. So it means legalities. Yeah, there's going to be legal challenges and all of that stuff will continue. Hopefully the American people will prevail. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, we can see here. So there could be legal challenges. Duck L'Orange and his cronies will be embattled, but they're determined. Yeah, they're very determined to try and carry on and execute their plan. Yeah, this can also do with veterans as well, or this might even be January 6th people. Yeah, these Proud Boys and all of that crazy lot. Look who shows up, the Empress, which you know I associate with Russia. Yeah, so of course it's all of this. And isn't it funny, because the person asks what happened with Congress when they were in what's it called, in Russia in 2018, July 4th. Look, my Russia card has shown up. And then when we look here, we've got Stinky Fish that's coming out, which can talk about an unusual or strange message. So there might be an announcement on this wealth fund soon, but there are connections there with Russia or maybe foreign money. But there's also going to be legal challenges potentially there as well. Oh my goodness. You can't make this stuff up, can you? And let's do a quick one. I've got a couple of minutes left, where someone was asking about who do you see as the next president after Trump? And then someone else was saying, hi, Hogarth, I hope you're doing well. Dark Goddess. Dark Goddess was saying, hi, Hogarth, hope you're doing well and feeling much better. This week, the Mango Messiah made a statement that he would obliterate Iran if he found himself unceremoniously unalived. So I'm curious to see if he's been receiving legitimate death threats recently, especially after his comments about Gaza. And then who do you see as the next president after Trump? That is CV Archfan. So let's bring those together. Is Trump's life in danger and will he be replaced? And then I have to call it a day there. All right. Oh my gosh. Thanks for staying with me, guys. So many of you here. Thanks so much. Much appreciated. I know I've gone on a bit longer, but I think we needed to. All right. Trump. Is Trump's life in danger? Will there be someone else? We see things like the Tower, the Seven of Swords, the Death card, or maybe the Five of Swords, then potentially. Yeah, let's see. Either the Devil, you know, the usual, or the High Priestess. Guess who's shown up? Oh, interesting. Okay, look. Who's going to replace Trump? Is Trump in danger? Machinations. People are certainly thinking about it. Yeah, there's some plotting going on. But this can also deal with things like international espionage and stuff like that. So it's probably other countries. My instinct is that this might be Iran. That, to me, feels like Iran. Yeah, anyway, I can't prove it. I'm just going with my intuition. Look at this. In the obstacle position, now, you know, I associate this card with Elon, yeah, musky. But this is about using all powers within your disposal, yeah, all powers within your disposal, willpower, desire, everything, yeah. So I think there are a lot of people that desire Duck Orange out of the way, particularly when we see here, look, we've got the Four of Wands, which talks about the White House, yeah, literally talking about the White House. Maybe Elon wants to be president. Yeah, maybe Elon wants to be president, or someone else. It could be a J.D. Vance. Is J.D. Vance machinations plotting against Trump because he wants to be the one that gets the White House? Here we see judgment. Yeah, this is the bugle call being called now. People are starting to wake up. You notice here, people are waking up out of their slumber. This is part of the pushback. And then if we look here, we have the Sword of Truth that comes out afterwards. So basically, it seems like, look, this is a power grab. This has been plotted on. This is a power grab. There is someone that wants Duck Orange out the way because they want the White House for themselves. But there is the wake-up call that is happening amongst the public, and the Sword of Truth is coming out. So I think there is an element of danger for Duck Orange. Remember, like I said, Algol will also be going very close to that star during the Great Awakening. It will probably hit around about 1 degree, I would imagine, around about the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of April. But that energy, you know, is building up. Someone wants Trump out the way. Elon can't be president because he wasn't born in America, but that could talk about J.D. Vance. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. And I just want to give a quick thank you here. Thank you so much for your donation, guys. I will leave it there. I've gone 17 minutes over. I hope you found that interesting. Please support the channel and this work. Over 1,154 of you join me here live. Thank you. Much appreciated. Big love. My cough is getting better, but did you see when I was talking about Duck Orange, it was like, ugh, yeah. So I'm holding on to my obsidian. Seeing the doctor tomorrow. Thank you so much. You will next see me on HOGARTH'S, yeah, on Saturday. All right. Bye for now. Big love. Stay strong, folks. Yeah. Stay strong.